People have asked me what gear I use to set up a gig, so I set up a camera and I filmed myself setting up. And today I'm going to run through what I use and why I use it. This is going to be my setup for 90% of gigs. I'll play most of my gigs as a solo acoustic musician, the general setup that I'll use for the most part. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more, sometimes it'll be a little bit less, depending on what it is, but this is kind of the daily driver for me. So over the last 10 years, my setup has changed drastically. I'll get bored quite often, or once I've mastered something, then I'll decide I need to add something else to the mix. Adding in a stomp, changing that out for a loop pedal, bringing in sample pads or an effects board. All these things have weaved their way in and out of my setup, and this is the current setup that I'm on at the moment. First up, we've got a Hercules mic stand that's just set up there, and a stool that is from eBay. It has a guitar stand on the back of it. It's just a stool in general. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice I am holding a music stand, and I am 1000% against music stands. However, I don't use it as a music stand. If you see as I set it up, I use it to put my sample pad on, and then sometimes, occasionally, a mixer will go on there, but it's usually just for the sample pad for me to have it in reach and usable really without having it mounted on the actual mic stand, because then I feel like any sort of taps come through in the mic as well. The mic stand in place, and then I'll bring in the music stand, tap, tap, there we are. And next up, we've got the Helix LT. This is my effects board that I use to power everything, basically. It's an amp modeler, and its capability is way, way, way above my ability. But I bought it because I wanted to start playing electric a bit more, and the future-proofing of the Helix and having such a wide array of different effects and things like that inside just one system was great for me. Now that I've got a pedal board as well as this, it's quite a big sort of floor space that I take up with it all. So this is why the Helix is sort of set off to one side, because I don't really change settings very much whilst I'm in a song. It's just at the beginning to set the song up. So I don't need access to it kind of all the time. So it's just off to the side at an angle. But on the Helix itself, I've got a very, very basic setup of just some EQ, some compression, some reverb. There's a delay pedal, an octave pedal, and a gain pedal as well. That's generally the system I use with the acoustic. And next up is the Rockboard pedal board I've got. So I'll just pause this really quick. On the far left, we've got the Roland SPD-1, which is a stomp pedal. And then it's got a lot of different sounding stomps inside the system. And you can add your own if you wanted to, but it's a very, very good solid unit. Would recommend definitely, probably over a standard kick, just because it doesn't have that dull thump sound that I find with a lot of just the standard kicks. This one, you can sort of tailor the sound to whatever you want it to. So you can change it. If you've got different songs that sound in different ways, that you can tailor it to those. Next to that, you have the RC500 loop pedal. A 2-track looper, absolutely love it. It's perfect for me. I don't need the 600. The 600 would be about the size of this entire board. And then the floor space that I'd use up would just be astronomical using that as well. Absolutely love the looper. Next to that, we have an A/B switcher. So my mic will come, my XLR comes from my mic into the pedal on the far right, which is a harmony pedal, and then it goes into this A/B switcher. From there, it'll go left into the looper so that I can loop harmonies or vocals, or I could beatbox. And then the right switch, or the B switch, it goes to the mixer. And so that I can add in the vocals to the looper as and when I want, and then I don't have to mix separately I don't have to mix my vocal in with the guitar because it doesn't have an XLR output for the vocal. And then the pedal on the right is the TC Helicon GXT. It is a fantastic, fantastic harmony pedal that has been discontinued. And I don't know why, because it is far, far superior to the Voice Live 3. The harmony pedal works, the guitar goes in, and whatever you're singing, it'll harmonize whichever harmony level you pick, will harmonize to whatever chords you're playing on the guitar. So it's very, very, very good, but it also can be very, very, very bad. if you're not singing correctly. It will always be in tune, even if you aren't. And then it becomes really, really jarring if you're slightly off because it's in. And if you try and sing, it's hard to explain, but if you try and sing too hard, or you sing a bit too much, or you give too much vibrato, then the harmony really doesn't work well with it, and it can leads to this just an awkward sound. I can do a video on harmony pedals because they're quite popular at the moment, and I've heard a lot of people not using them properly, myself included. You'll hear me sometimes at a gig and I'll be singing a song and I can hear the harmony we're not working together, and so I'll immediately turn it off. But I can sort of give you a video on how best to use it, and then you can use that in your gigs if you plan on using a harmony pedal as well. So just here on the left on the floor, I use essentially a toolbox for all my cables. It's a great way of getting everything around. It's got built-in wheels, it's stackable. Everything is very well protected inside there, and it just means I don't have to carry bags around and things like that. So it's a great little thing that I use. And in that holds all my separate cables, I've got these pencil cases from Kmart or Target, one of the two. And in each one I have, say, XLRs in one, I have jack leads in another one, I've got power cables in another one. It just keeps everything organized so that I'm not just digging through trying to work out where everything is. It's a nice little setup. Here's the microphone. It's the E945 Sennheiser microphone. Obviously you can't see it there, but that's the one I use. Also, I use the Behringer P2 for my in-ears. I'll output from the mixer into those, and then headphones. I've got about 2 or 3 different pairs of in-ear monitors. Basically, you can get kind of any in-ear monitors. If you're spending between, say, $70 to $300, they're kind of going to be the same. Not strictly true, but there's not much benefit in going any sort of higher, that kind of range. They're all pretty much going to be around the same. But as soon as you start going higher than that, then you're going to start getting a lot of differences. But kind of that, you spend $100 on a pair, that's more than enough. You don't need to go any higher than that for any sort of chill gigs like this. It's you spending just too much money. You might get a little bit more range, but realistically, you're not going to need that much more. An often forgotten thing, the little guitar stand there. It's the worst thing when you forget it and you feel you have to lean your guitar against something. So yeah, try and have one of those in the case or in the car, wherever. And here's the mixer. It's the Zoom. I didn't want to show you it very quickly, apparently. It's the Zoom L8 mixer. Absolutely love it. It's got inbuilt recording, so you can record the stems of the track, so every individual track can be recorded and you can remix it later if you want to. If say you've recorded another musician and they're a little bit quiet, you don't have to just have the entire track. You can bump them up or add some compression or some reverb or whatever you want to do. You can individually record tracks as well as the main out, which is absolutely great. And you can power it with a battery pack, like with a power bank. So it's a very, very, very good system. You can record straight onto an SD card. Absolutely brilliant. The speaker I'm using is the Bose L1 Pro 8. It's a speaker tower, modular speaker tower that I use. I use it all the time. This will cover you for any small to medium sized gigs. It is an absolute workhorse. It's got the big sub on the bottom and then the speakers going up the tower as well. It's brilliant. If you could get a tower system, I would recommend one if it fits within your budget, because they do offer that sort of wider range of sound that just this one sort of standard speaker does. And then also they are very practical for moving around and taking in and out of gigs just because of the way they sort of shaped and built. All right, here's my best attempt at explaining my guitar chain. Guitar, jack lead into the TC Helicon, the harmony pedal. It then goes straight out through of there into the Helix. From the Helix, it goes into the board, where it then goes into the loop pedal, and then from the loop pedal, it comes out and goes into the mixer. The other thing that goes into the loop pedal is the stomp that goes straight into the loop pedal, and also the AB switch goes into the stomp. The mic XLR down into the harmony into the AB, and then split between the mixer and the loop. And then finally the sample pad is also put into the Helix and then out of the Helix into the loop. That's it. Okay, so this is the sample pad I use. It's the MPX8. It is an absolute ball ache to get samples onto it because it's so restrictive. It's quite an old sort of sampler. It's quite restrictive on what file types it'll take and things like that. But if you can manage to sort that out, it's very, very good, very practical and very small. And it can also run on a power bank, so you don't have to plug it in, which is perfect for gigs where you don't have a lot of access to power and you're already making a mess with all your cables like this one. But that gets put into the Helix and then from the Helix into the loop. And then we put the iPad onto the Hercules grip there on the mic stand. Everything's good to go. Check everything is in the right place. And then finally, my guitar is a Cole Clark Angel, which just pulled out there. It's absolutely beautiful and I love it. And then last but not least, the most important thing, get a sign, all right? Get a sign. And that's kind of the setup. Obviously, I tidied everything up after the fact, but that was kind of the setup. That's the basic daily driver sort of setup that I have. It's the L1 Pro 8 speaker from Bose, the Zoom L8 mixer, microphones, mic stand, my 2 pedal boards, and my Cole Clark Angel. That's kind of my daily driver, kind of. This is what I do every kind of gig. This will be the general setup. And there's times when things will come out of it and there's times when things will be added in. If I'm playing solo acoustic, this will be it. If I'm adding another singer, maybe it'll still probably be this. If I'm playing with a drummer, which I do quite a lot, the sample pad will go, the pedal board will go, and I'll just have the Helix because I'll allow, like, I won't be looping, I won't be using a stomp, and then I'll allow all the drive to come from the drummer, and it gives them a lot more freedom to sort of be more expressive, and we can have more of a jam, have more fun doing it that way. So I'll just use the Helix if I'm playing with a drummer. If I'm playing at, say, a wedding ceremony, then I may even only use the S1 and go guitar straight into the S1 speaker or vocal straight into the S1 speaker, or I might bring along my battery pack and then I'll maybe use the Helix if I want some effects or something like that. So it'll change depending on gigs, but this is kind of the 90% of the gigs. This is what I'll use. This will be the full setup. If you've got any questions on any of it, or how you could use any of it in your gigs, or what is the reason I use a specific thing, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer any of it. I've been quite sick, so I'm just trying to get this video out to keep consistent of having at least one video a week. So I'm sorry it isn't the highest quality of videos today, but if you do want some videos of better quality, helping you play some gigs and earn more money, get paid better and play better gigs really, maybe click around here somewhere because there's going to be a video there for you. But thanks for watching this one.